Okay then. Oh, yeah, we're rolling. So this is the extended version on Vimeo for Anna, who was asking, who had written saying, and for anybody as well, this is of course for anybody to purchase and for anybody to know, who finds himself in an affair situation where you're actually seeing somebody and you are at a point where you're asking or wanting to know if you should actually encourage the person that you are having an affair with, whether they should actually leave the wife or not. So you want to actually encourage and kind of force the issue. Now, on the 3 cards that I pulled out for the YouTube, we got Beyond the Illusion. So this is kind of like in your past situation, which is you've got to go over the illusion. You had fallen for an illusion where your eyes were shut. You decided to cast a blind eye and pretend that this is okay, which really it isn't. We also got the let go. All right, so for the current situation where you're at, which I think is very accurate, and in the immediate or near future, you need to take things one step at a time and start moving forward and moving on. I think I'd like to be able to see as well, do a very simple Celtic cross to extend it. What advice? That's really what's crowning the situation, okay? So this is the crowning situation, and we will look at maybe how you can approach it or what angle to take it from. Okay, I tend to do jumpers, so you're going to have to just bear in mind what Spirit wants to tell you. I might take these 2 cards, yeah. I think what it is that you're really afraid to be left behind. All right, this you're putting off the idea of actually feeling isolated and actually being heartbroken, and you're actually there you are, and this is also you postponing it. So I'm going to take this 2 cards here. Okay, I think in reality, Anna, and whoever's watching, you know, all right, you really actually know that you're putting off what you really want, okay? You know that there are 2 worlds out there. There's one that's going to give you all what you want, and this is a kind of where you're deliberately living in a very barren situation. You're not even getting fed in this relationship, okay? And what's interesting is here at the back of the deck as well, we've got this card of aloneness, which also informs me it's really time for you to start going inward and really check in with what it is you really want. You've probably recognized some wonderful qualities, as you said. He's very generous, he's warm, he's handsome, and clearly there are qualities that you look for in a man. And maybe you need to start actually inquiring and investigating and going seeking that out for yourself instead of actually going towards somebody who's already taken. But I'm going to have another look. Okay, so we're just going to go down into the core level of your relating with him. Okay, so what is really at the heart of the matter as well. Okay, yeah. I think in some way you're actually afraid to show who and how beautiful you really are. You know, you kind of, this card is interesting for me here. This is a card of misery, but this is also you not really showing up as you really can be. It's as if you're hiding your real inner brilliance, okay? Sometimes when we tend to go with people who are really taken, it's as if you're really afraid to put yourself out. Again, if you look at this image here, I'm wondering if you kind of, by doing this, you're not really showing yourself off, you know, you're showing your true jewels out, you know, it's safer. This is safer for you, you know, somebody you can't have fully, and you can fantasize about what you've got, but it's not really totally yours, you know. So in some way, this is at the core of the issue. So it brings me down to the fact that there's really low self-esteem issues here. You're not really wanting to show who you really are out to the world. You're hiding behind a wall. You're hiding behind a pretense that this is okay. And this is actually creating, in fact, also a wall of connection into your outer world as well. Because, of course, it's not something you can really admit to people that, oh, well, I'm having an affair with a guy and, you know, yeah, it's just really low. You know, so I recommend that you actually make that inquiry with, you know, and the 2 colors here that really pop out again, as I recommended, was the solar plexus and your heart chakra. Okay, this is not allowing full love to come into your heart chakra. Definitely needs healing, and you know what your heart really wants. Okay, the plumes also here often are symbolisms of feathers, which is also messages. You know in your heart of hearts what you want. Okay, but stop hiding, you know, show your beauty off, because when you're actually really free to do what you want and free to be open to an open relationship, as in a relationship that's ready for you fully, you will able to really show your inner jewels and your inner nuggets of beauty and light. Okay, but I do feel that you need some work on your solar plexus for that to happen. Okay, I'm just going to choose one more for this card, because I think this spread actually gives me a very good overall. Yeah. Oh yeah, you definitely need to be going out in the world and experiencing something more. Okay, you know, go beyond what you've got here. This is a Three of Wands, which is also going out to see what's out there and putting yourself out in the world. Okay, again, we've got her here shielded somewhere. If you look at this card, can we see? Ooh. So you see that she's got a robe and she's almost covered, and she's not allowing her full expression. You know, she's hiding. You see this sort of colored clothing, and yet she's sort of not revealing herself, which is very similar to this really. But this is now time for you to venture into new territory. You know, really start observing what there is in life that actually gives you satisfaction, joy, and looking at the smaller details of life, where you can actually start really engaging with life in a way, Anna, that for whatever reasons you have decided to restrict yourself. Okay, because this is a card definitely of restriction. Okay, being miserly in the openness of your relationship and you relating out in the real world. Okay, so I really recommend that you go out and experience the world and put yourself out there. Very, very important. All right, because you've got to get out of that indecision and move into this experience. Okay, because really what it's going to do is it's going to suppress you completely. All right, this is going to close in on you. Here's another card from the bottom of the deck. This is going to close in on you. You need to go out and play, get out of your comfort zone, go out and meet people, and stop settling for second best. Okay, this is some kind of situation that you are really stopping yourself. I think for some reason you are afraid. Yeah, this is now also very much time for you to meet the community, really get out in the world, which is very much a bigger version of that. Find your people. You know, there are people waiting out there for you. You know, this is about you really showing up and you know, being part of a bigger world and extending yourself to the world. Okay, because when we live a lie, we end up living in a situation that really keeps us contained a lot more than you think, and we're sort of bound by things that are not true, which actually starts laying heavy. The guilt will be heavy, and you'll be carrying that as well. Okay, you have an opportunity to really expand and extend yourself into a harmonious life. All right, I'm taking these cards out from the bottom as well, because here we have also the card of transformation, which I really feel is speaking. This is about you really, you know, and this is really so beautiful. Look at this. This is actually the Ten of Cups. So this is actually you finding your happiness. You're getting in touch with your heart. If you look at the light coming out of this figure, and the dolphins are a beautiful, beautiful image and symbolic of putting your wishes out. Okay, and really thinking of what you want in your heart's desire. Okay, and then allowing yourself to transform. Though yes, there will be some pain. Yes, there is going to be some growth, but you're going to have to let it go. All right, there's no point in you postponing it, no point in you putting it off. Okay, and then just because you're afraid, this is about you now really revealing yourself as well. Okay, this is going to get you really upset as well. Not only just the breaking up of the relationship, but you actually really hiding. I mean, this is not who you are, you know, essentially. So the other thing I did earlier on when I brought this deck, this is a beautiful deck, quite a new one for me. Called The Whispers of Love. Okay, now I took them out of the box and I went to shuffle, and it split the deck, and I decided to take this card as I had your energy very much in mind. And it says here, honesty is essential, and I really recommend that you get honest with yourself, and by you being honest with yourself, as knowing that this is not right. And if you look at this as well, there's somebody look, she's got her back turned to this guy, offering her a rose. But if you actually look at this male figure here, he's got also a mask, so it's not real. Okay, this is built on fantasy, and you can't even really see the true him because he's not being the true him. You get little snitches of him, and basically he's offering you a love that is not true. So you need to speak honestly here, and be honest about what you really want. And instead of having your back to a love life that you can actually have, you can move forward into something far more beautiful, far more real, and far more bringing you light and lots of love into your sphere. Okay, I'm also going to take this Power of Surrender. This is another relatively new deck, and let's see what affirmation or advice these cards have for you. And for anybody, of course. Now, this goes for across the board for anybody. Honesty is always essential. Okay, and I'm not saying about honesty, but you go to the wife and say, guess what? I've been seeing your husband and I've been cheating, you know, with your husband, or you've been cheated on. This is not the kind of honesty we're talking about. It's about you being honest. This is always about ourselves. Okay, and you need to speak up honestly about, and you know, at the end of the day, what you really want is somebody who's going to be there for you, who's going to give you the fireworks, who's going to actually make your heart beat, and for somebody you can actually show up together with, not hide behind the scenes and pretend that you can't be seen. I mean, the guy's wearing a mask and you've got your back to the thing, and neither of you are actually facing, you know, the crowd or, you know, your lives together. Okay. So this will possibly help you as a little prayer. You know, I would say, you know, I surrender the need to be needed in a way that's compromising. Okay, because you are, and you know, fear of change as well. And look, okay, so surrender your fear of change. You know, do not compromise yourself. It says the universe is reminding you that you are cared for always. Whether you're afraid of change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or for your fear of aging or death, repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. So if you look at this as well, okay, you know that you need to change the situation here. This is very much about a change of cycles. Even with this is an autumn where there's a change. This is about acknowledging and recognizing that there's a time for the leaves to fall like an autumn where death actually happens, and to appreciate the time, appreciate the beauty that the leaves have actually given you. You've had your season with this, okay? And even with this, I love this card, the letting go card, which is the most prominent card in your present situation. All right, which actually tells me that, you know, it is time for you to let go. Okay, you know, and if you look at the droplet here, it's just about to drop and it's asking you to let go. Okay, you know, which it will do because it's not going to fulfill you. All right, and also here, this wonderful image of the horse, the woman on the horse. This is about you taking action yourself. You know, don't let or try and avoid the action happening to you. You take charge of your situation, and this is what's going to bring your transformation. This is when you're going to rise and you're going to feel so much better about yourself, because you know deep down that this has possibly taken your strength, but this is the right thing for you to do, and for you to actually break the burden and the old story that you're not worth having, and really moving towards something that you really want. But in order for that to happen, you're going to have to make that change yourself. Okay, and finally, one last card. I'd like to see what the soul's journey on this level is as well. Okay. I would recommend, Anna, and anybody watch, start, you know, building a community of playfulness. Really, you're going to start meeting a whole load of people that you never thought possible, and that's how you make a connection. Okay, you meet and make connections with people you know. All right, I just can't help but feeling somehow that you being in this relationship, in this affair situation, which is very common for a lot of people, you end up excluding yourself and isolating yourself. Nobody really wants to know that somebody's having an affair, and you've got anybody colluding with you, a friend and stuff, they're no friend of yours at all. I can tell you that. They're just as, you know, no offense, but shallow, or and it is a very shallow behavior, and I'm going to be really honest about it. And what's going to do is it's very suppressing. Okay, it doesn't serve. It's not happening. It's going to cave in on you. You're going to be chained to it, and you're not going to be able to get out. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. But what I'm saying is the cards are actually very much allowing you to move forward. Go out, have fun, meet some new people, start clowning around, or just do things that you love. And you will definitely meet people through being externally engaged out in the world. All right, I'm just going to take one more card for soul. What is the soul journey that here is a message for you, for Anna and anybody else watching, that who is in an affair? What would be the lesson here on a soul level? One more card, please. Just one more card. Spirit, thank you. We'll take this one. Okay, right. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. All right, this is really important as well, that somehow you don't actually turn in on yourself and you judge yourself out of the situation. But you've got to know that you are on your own journey, and for whatever reason, you made this decision to be in this situation, and it is now an opportunity for you to actually make the changes and overcome the challenges that you have personally. You must have a personal judgment against yourself to feel that this is okay. Okay. All right. What's also possibly keeping you there is guilt or feeling of guilt. All right. Release any beliefs that have no longer assist you to your soul's growth. So you need to really get over it. Okay. You've got to stop feeling guilty. You've got to stop judging yourself, because this kind of guilt actually is inherently already in you. And I'm not saying that you actually feel guilty about having an affair, but I think there's some kind of guilt that is inside of you that stems from a judgment that you've made since you were a child, or possibly from a past life, that you don't deserve to have your own and your best, which makes you feel guilty, so you will settle for second best. Okay. One more card, please. And it might also be telling you that you might feel that actually, you know, that maybe you're doing him a favor, or I've got two cards here. Yeah, wonderful. You're doing him a favor, you know, that well, he wouldn't be with you, and you know, you're kind of making judgments about the situation and stuff about it as well. It really is none of your business either. Okay, you've got to just let go of it. Just you know, this is not suiting your soul's growth anymore. It's definitely come to a time, and here we've got this grief, okay, which is very similar to the Three of Swords, this card as well. Just allowing yourself to grieve and come out of the situation. It says here, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Maybe you can appreciate, take away what you really had, take the joys, take all the stuff that you really liked about him, put it on the list, make it something, and let it go. Yeah, let it die. Okay, you have to let it die for the change to happen. This is also, two colors that are very relevant to the sacral chakra, which is also the other chakras I mentioned that will need healing. Okay, we tend to hold ourselves back, you know, and kind of surround ourselves in guilt when we don't feel like we really deserve something. So this is very much a sacral chakra issue, and sacral chakras also always to do with our relationships and how we relate to people outside of ourselves, also in our work situation, and money as well. So whatever it is, you can let go of that guilt now. You know, you might have to grieve a bit, which is totally fine, but look at this beautiful card, that what it brings you is a sense of peace. All right, this is really important. So in some way, this is allowing you for now, you know, to be a being of love. What would love do? You know, and I release all negative energy. Lying, hiding, and, you know, just being dishonest really brings a lot of negative energy. I don't understand how people can carry that karma or carry that load. So just so you know, peace is waiting for you, Anna, and peace is waiting for anybody else who finds a situation. Don't postpone what you know that you really deserve and what you can have. And you really can. I mean, these cards here ended on a very good note. Just trust. While you actually are rebuilding yourself back up through the grief, or maybe letting go and feeling sorrowful, all right, you will have opportunity to start really creating a new harmonious vision for yourself, and you'll find yourself totally transformed, moving away from something that doesn't serve you and rising from the ashes, okay? But you do have to grieve first. You have to let the relationship die. You have to let the old die, the ideas die, any dreams and fantasies you might have had around that. But I really feel that you will, you know, take it as an experience, really show up for yourself, really reveal, and you know, you will find peace in yourself. And this is really where we can only aim for at the end of the day. And look at that, at the bottom of the deck, change. So you've had change twice. All right, so I'm going to end the card reading here, and this is for anybody who is asking, wondering if they should stay in a relationship that is actually already being occupied and you're being the other woman. And I would just, like I said in my advice on Ask Rafah on YouTube, just leave, walk away and start your life anew, and change is what's required. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on another video of the card reading, which is the extended reading from the short reading, which was posted up on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.